Hello, Neil Gardner here with Bob the Hat, and you're not in the Nook. No, you're outside the Nook. You're in the kitchen, actually. I wanted to introduce you to something which I mentioned in one of my videos recently. I thought it'd be quite useful to show it to you. So I'm going to, I'm going to quickly flick the camera, so get ready for that. Okay, so this is the DISCO-ANTISTAT. Let me show you that. Sorry for the, haven't quite got the right lighting today. There you are, the DISCO-ANTISTAT is a record cleaning device, and what happens is you fill that tub up with this liquid here, and you see it's got some brushes inside, and then you connect to the record using this weird device here, and then you clean your dirty record, old Harry Mortimer there, and it comes out all lovely and clean. So let's get to it. I shall show it to you in steps, so here we go. Okay, so this is the device itself. It's just a pretty thin plastic, quite rigid plastic. It has these, let's see if we can dive in a bit. These are brushes, slightly offset brushes inside, and a very deep well designed to put your record into. You get these two little clips that will become obvious in a moment. And then down the bottom you have this black section here, which if we flip it over, looks solid, but actually is quite useful. Let's see if we can do this on camera one-handed, not the easiest thing in the world. Let's turn it upside down. So, hang on a minute. I shall just put it towards me for a second. And what you get is, very cleverly, a stand so that your records can dry afterwards. And yes, there you go, you can see the hollow insides. So it becomes these two sections. Let's have a look here. Let's move these around for you. So that's the cleaning section. Then that's the drying section. There's enough room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 records in there. They say you can fit about 15 or 16, but I found about 7 to 9 is about the best you can manage. So that's how you dry those. I'm going to move those off to one side for a moment, and then show you the very next section. So hang on a moment. Okay, so this is the next stage. It comes with a bottle of this DISCO-ANTISTAT mixture, which is basically a form of alcohol, I suppose. It probably says on there somewhere. Let's have a look on the back here. It's a kind of isopropyl alcohol. Got to be a little bit careful with it. Can be flammable, and also don't want to get it on any cuts or abrasions on your fingers. And the idea is, what we're going to do is we're going to fill this hole up until we get a level up to covering those brushes. So let's do that now. Here we go. Just pull back a bit. It's, yeah, anyone's done any model making will recognise the smell, that's for sure. And you want to be careful you don't have any kids or cats or anything wanting to get in there. Not quite up to the level yet. A little bit more. There we go. So as you can see, the brushes are covered. And we have a nice reservoir ready for our records. So, our next step will be young Harry Mortimer here. Let's see how clean we can get him. Lovely chap. So we're back, and here is Fantasy and Brass by Harry Mortimer. As you can see, pretty dirty. It's been in storage for about 30 years. But as you can see, some finger marks, quite a lot of dust, bits of dirt. Let's see if I can angle it correctly for you. Anyway, not the cleanest record. Nicely not scratched though. So we are going to sort that out. And first thing we've got to do is connect it to this strange device down here. So I shall now attempt to do that. And yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is the strange device. It's got a handle and a spindle going through, and these two circular sections which have little grips on them, And what you have to do is you open them up a little bit tight from where they dried from the last time. There we are, and it just unscrews. And so you have these two sections which screw together. Usefully inside, you've got an adapter for if you've got particularly an American single or a jukebox single with the hole punched out. So we'll just get rid of that. Let me get the record. And so, our record goes through the hole on the one side. I shall turn it around for you so you can see. And then on this side, we get the other part of the screw. And if I can do this correctly, that screws onto there on the spindle. And then you tighten it up just enough. And it also covers the label quite nicely. Look, you can see all the dirt and everything else on there. So, right, so what we now do is we're going to, I should just lift up the camera, going to put the device, the record into the device. So, holding onto the handle, here we go. We lower it in, goes between the two brushes, and then the spindle, I'll try to pull that out a bit for you so you can see, rests on those notches, as you can see. Then the little clips come over the top just to help protect it. Should do the same on that side. There we are. Right, Harry, you getting ready? It goes back to there, and then basically we spin the wheel of justice. I shall have to change hands for this. So here we go. Let me slowly rotate, and as you can already see, there's a nice reflective surface now coming up, almost as though you lose all the grooves and it just becomes virgin uncut vinyl. It's very interesting. Have a look in there, as you can see. It's coming up nicely. Now they say to do this slowly, about 6 or 7 times. From experience, I would say the longer you do it, the better. Just to give the liquid a chance to really seep in, for the brushes to really get all the stuff out from between the grooves. You just want to do it ever so slowly, ever so gently. There we go, around a few times. Some people suggest then going back the other way. Quite hard sometimes, with a little bit of resistance from the brushes. Oh, there we go. But it is possible to reverse the process. How are you doing, Harry? You're looking a bit uncertain of the process. So we just go around a few more times. The plastic box is a bit lightweight, so it can slide on a slippy surface like this kitchen top. But you can hold on to it, it's not a particular problem. As long as you don't go too fast, you won't get any of the liquid all over yourself or all over your surfaces. So there we go, so that's now done. So, I'm going to unclip it. So let's just unclip that one. I'll go to the other side, unclip that one, and I'm going to have to now lift it out and dry it off, so back in a second. Right, so here we go, we're going to lift it out now. We've been ever so careful. So I'll lift it out, and it's going to need to drain for a few seconds. Hopefully you can see, there you go, it's dripping the liquid off. There we go, a few more times. Just draining it off a few times. Get as much as we can. Now what I want to do is get the draining rack from over here. So in comes the draining rack. Let's see if we can see that better. I'm going to move this out of the way. Careful not to spill anything. Bring the camera forward a bit for you. Right. And there we have it. Pristine and clean and lovely. And I'm going to drop that down into the rack like that. And if I had both hands to use free, I would immediately undo here and undo there and take that out. But of course I'm holding the camera at the moment, so I shall do that and come back to you in half a moment. Okay, back in a second. And so there it is with the spindle, this thing, removed. And now drying. It's got a little drip tray area. I'm not sure if you can see it in this light, but just down here is a drip tray, so you can recover as much of the liquid as possible at the end. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes just to dry itself off. but hopefully you can already see how much cleaner it is. Not sure if that's focusing in properly, but it is pretty clear. Let's check the other side. There we are. The label got a little bit damp. That should dry off nicely. If you want to be a bit more careful than I've just been, you can lower the amount of liquid in the tub over there, so you can actually have a little less, maybe a little underneath the top level of the brushes. But otherwise, that has done an absolutely gorgeous job of cleaning up that vinyl. So there you are. That is the DISCO-ANTISTAT from a company called, I think they're from Germany, Nosti. Costs about £80, and so you get all this in the kit, plus you get the bottle of mixture, which you can buy replacements of quite easily. What I'll do when I'm finished with all this is I will take the liquid there, and there is a special little helpful device. I shall see if I can find it for you. It's just over behind me. Here we are. So to get stuff back in, it comes with this little funnel, which also has some material inside of it to capture all the little particles that it's taken off, so it doesn't go back into the bottle. And I'd say you lose maybe 5% each time from evaporation and drainage. It's also quite hard to pour from that. The one downside I would say to this is that even though they put a little funnel here, a little edge, it's not perfect, and yeah, you do tend to splash an awful lot off if you do it too fast. So I'd also suggest having it at that angle when you're repouring rather than that way, because it tends to want to sort of throw the liquid in that direction and then also drip backwards. So kind of aim towards this area here and it will pick up most of it up. But yeah, it's a pretty good kit for the money. I've managed to clean an awful lot of my old recovered vinyl now, and very happy with it. It's very clean sounding, very crisp. And there goes the there goes the stabilizer in the background. But yeah, I think it's done a very good job. It's certainly worth the money, and I would happily recommend it. I bought this one myself. It's not been supplied in any way, and I think both myself, Bob the Hat, and young Harry Mortimer here are quite happy to be cleaned by the DISCO-ANTISTAT. So there you are, from the Listening Nook's kitchen. I will say bye-bye for now, and Bob the Hat will say bye-bye for now too. Bye!